If this is the same angle as the horse's natural angle, then when I walk up to him to see if this spade will work, I'll pick this up like he's going to pick it up, and that's the angle. So if I pick this up, that's his natural angle. So I'll find each horse, and if that doesn't match that angle, then I'll grab another one and try to find one that matches that angle. That one's not quite as steep or swept back as much. So I'll find one whichever matches that horse, and I'll just go through to see, because all of them will be a little bit different. All these are Santa Barbara cheek pieces. And I'll pick this one up. That's a little bit straighter. This, as far as the stand goes, this would probably fit this horse the best, because that's about the same angle when he's at a natural state. So that's where I would start with and see how I got along with it. If you pick up a bridle bit and it goes like this, there's no way a horse is going to pick it up, because if they do, this is what it's going to do. It's going to lay on the back of their tongue. The problem with a lot of the spades today is that they got the wrong sweep into them, being swept back. Where to me, this spade should be come right up through the center of those rings. So if you hold it up straight, this part should come straight up through those center of those rings, and then just continue on at that same angle, not come up here and then all of a sudden swept back too far, because what happens, it'll lay on the horse's back of the horse's tongue and they won't like it. So you need to have it to where that comes to the center and not swept back too far. I can kind of show you this. How these work a little bit. So without me touching the reins or anything with the reins, if this horse is traveling, I don't have no pressure with my rein. You can see that if he drops his head, so he'll carry his head where it's comfortable for him. So if he happens to raise his head up like this, without me touching the reins, you can see what it does. The spade actually goes up to the palate. So it's going to be uncomfortable for him, and I'm not even touching the reins. So he's going to come down and find his natural deal until that drops off and comes off his palate. So he's going to pack his head, and his natural head carries. It's going to encourage him to carry his head at a natural. If he goes too far down, you can see what the spade does. It goes back to the back of the tongue. So as he moves his head, that's why the spade is so very balanced. And to have balance, that I don't have to do anything with my hand to keep him packing the bridle in the way he should pack it. So if he raises his head up, I don't have to touch the rein, because he can pack it like that all day long, and he's going to be uncomfortable. And so finally he's going to find that release, and when horses start to learn by the release, and there he's found it off his palate. Or if he packs his head too low, it's going to lay on the back of his tongue. That's uncomfortable. So he's going to bring it back till it comes off. And there's nothing that I'm doing to him. He's doing it to himself. So he's learning to come off the spade by himself and not me forcing him to. So that's one of the main reasons for the spade, because it just balances itself. I mean, it works off itself. And people get into this because they look at one and say, oh, that looks terrible. But what they don't understand is, if my arm represents a horse's mouth, and I put this in the crook of my arm, because this is basically how this horse's mouth is shaped, as tall as it gets up, and I pick up on here, I can feel that in the crook of my arm as I pick it up here. I have all this surface going against the palate. Okay, I got all this surface going against the palate, and it's very smooth and no bite to it. It's very smooth. Whereas, for instance, just taking a regular snaffle is far more severe than a spade could ever be. And if you put shanks on this and use correction bits, anything that breaks in the middle is like a bear trap. So if I do the same thing here, and you pull it on your arm here, you can see this goes right to the horse's bars and the top of the pallet. So it just collapses in this way, and then the horse can't get away because it's just right on the bars all the time. And you can feel in your arm, if you take that and pull on that, you can feel a lot more bite to that than the Spade does. And it's just because it has more surface and it's not broken. It's not a leverage bit, it's a signal bit. And for it to work as a signal bit, a horse has to pick this throttle up. He can't just let the hanger hang it, he has to pick it up to make it a signal bit. So actually the more surface you have here, the milder it is. By taking a Bacchino mouthpiece here where it's shorter, there's less surface on here. So it's like if you put one finger in the roof of your mouth in your palate, put pressure on it, compared to putting two fingers up there. It's milder because there's more surface on it. So you can see the surface on these two bits, how much surface there is. This Spade here has got twice the surface than the other one does. So it's milder than the taller one because there's more surface on it.